Hey guys, I'm back. I'm going to start filling in my design. So for this, I'm going to use my little watercolor kit that I've been using for class. And I'm just going to mix some colors. I really like working with turquoise. It just makes me happy. So I'm going to use Viridian green and cerulean blue in a mixture. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wet, sorry, my voice is I'm a little bit sick, but I'll be okay. I'm going to just fill in the area with water. I'm kind of going for an irregular look here. I don't want that perfect look. So first is water. It's got a little tiny bit of color. I'm going to take a drop of paint. Let me just move this so you can see it. Here you go. I'm going to grab a drop of paint and I'm just going to do an outline at the top of the shape. And I'm just going to let it blend naturally. It's going to start blending in. So that's what I want. I want the water to work its magic naturally. I don't want to control the whole process. But I might come in after and check in and see if I can move things around a little bit. So, yep, essentially filling in with water and then dropping in a bit of paint on the outside. And then letting it dry on its own while I work on the other parts. I actually find it hard to work all around without smudging, so I'm just going to work one area at a time. Like 1/4 at a time about. And yeah, I'm not going for perfection. I'm really going to just do this repetitive process and let nature, let the water find its way. It's a good reflection too on, letting go a little bit and allowing for nature to take its course. I feel like with Instagram, and that's why one of the reasons I haven't put a lot on there, I just feel like there's this a bit perfectionist kind of competitive thing sometimes between artists, and I just, I want to show an imperfect side. I think it's really important. It's healthier, That's why, even if I make a mistake, like I'll post a video, I will, in the past, I feel like, I'd only post things that were like picture perfect. And yeah, I feel like actually it just contributes to creating an unhealthy culture of comparison. So, yeah, just want to kind of meet you guys where I'm at. Busy mom, 3 kids, full-time job in the arts, but nevertheless, full-time job working. So this is really a time for me when I'm teaching. It's really a time to kind of practice mindfulness and self-acceptance, Hold on. just gonna go turn off the oven. There we go. My oven was ringing. All right, back to this. Yeah, I've been surprised by some of the things I've heard from artist friends. Like, things have changed, and all the time I was kind of away from the online sphere. There's a lot of like people, yeah, kind of like copying each other, not crediting each other. I feel like if you come up with your a geometric analysis yourself, you know, that's one thing. Like this one I just came up with by looking at the picture, but if you're gonna like learn from somebody, I really feel like that person needs to be credited in the video. I think it's important because we are just standing on the shoulders of other people, you know, like the people who've taught us, you know, and I think it's important to, yeah, to credit all that hard work. All that hard work of people that came before us. It's super important. All right, I'm gonna mix some more color. Also, like what I'm really interested in kind of pushing my students is to reflect on like what can we do with these amazing patterns? What other applications can you find, like other than creating a really pretty drawing? Like how can we apply this in our lives? Are you going to create a mural? Are you going to create like really amazing textile art? Are you going to use this pattern to inspire like the creation of a new engineering project? You know, there's so much that we can do, and I think it's really important to encourage like a culture of innovation and experimentation. And I think that to allow yourself to experiment is actually to allow yourself to be imperfect and to try and to fail. The other day, my kids and I were creating an icosahedron, like a dome. We were trying to do it with like rolled up paper, and we ended up wasting some tape. So I kind of thought, well, what's the solution to this problem? You know, where can we find straws? We were building the model with straws. And where can we find straws around us, you know? And yeah, I could just go to the store and buy a bunch of paper straws. That would be fine. But we actually went outside, and we remembered that the reeds that grow by the river near our place actually have all dried out now because it's winter, and they're hollow. So we went out with some scissors and we just took 3 or 4 reeds. They're super long. They're like 8 feet long. And they were perfect. So we cut them into the size that we need. And we're really excited to finish our building project this week, inshallah. So it was cool to just find like a perfect material right outside our door. And yeah, it makes me happy when we can find solutions to problems, by exploring nature. I find that really wonderful. And without kind of encouraging like more consumption. Yeah, in terms of crediting people for learning geometry, the people that I've learned the most geometry from, there's kind of 3 people that have really influenced me. There's Adam Williamson from Art of Islamic Pattern, who's been creating really amazing courses for years. And he was one of the first artists that I discovered when I was looking into it. The other person is Paul Marchant, who was a student of a man called Keith Critchlow, who was really instrumental in reviving like Islamic geometry in the West. I wasn't actually able to study with him, but I studied with his student Paul. And so that was really like fantastic. And then there was like a lot of really, really great teachers at the the King's School of Traditional Arts where I studied. Really, really incredible teachers. And the other person that I learned a lot from was a man called Eric Brew, who wrote a book. I've never met him directly, but he wrote some books about Islamic geometry, which are step by step. And they were really helpful in the beginning to kind of demystify the construction of these patterns. So he's created some really great books. And yeah, those are the resources that I would recommend. I also really like the books called Wooden Books by John Martineau. There's some on many, many topics, but they really give you a really fantastic treasure trove of inspiration for design inspired from nature. They are really, 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 really tiny though, so it's sometimes like a little bit dense material to get through, but I like that they're pocket size and I do refer to them quite often. So that's what I would recommend as resources. So there's a lot of ways that you could fill out this pattern, obviously. And this is just one way. You could connect the diamonds to make them bigger. You could experiment with all sorts of gradients and rainbow colors. So this is just a starting point. Oh, of course my camera got moved over. Sorry about that. Hope that you're still able to see. I actually like that it's kind of changing color, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna create a new color that's it's gonna slowly fade into. I don't want it to be uniform all the way around. Cool. I like the marble effect that's happening. I personally think it's cool anyway. And yeah, go ahead and skip ahead if you want to see the final result. I kind of intentionally don't speed it up because I find that those types of videos can be really overwhelming for people. I remember when I had like really, really young babies and I wasn't able to have time to do, you know, painting as much. And I would go sometimes on Instagram and look at, and I'd see these like sped up painting drawings, sped up painting videos. And, you know, instead of inspiring me, they would just make me feel really overwhelmed, like kind of sad. So I think when you are in a good place in your life and you have lots of time to create, you don't really realize, but there's lots of people that might be seeing your video, might be going through like a hard time, or, you know, they might be in a part of the world where, you know, things are really not going well. And somehow slowing down, I feel like it brings it back to a human level. You know, things take time, you know. Everything takes time. So I'm liking this fade. It's kind of turned green and then back to blue. I'm going to put in a bit of blue here and then I'm going to put more turquoise here. So I'm going to take this cerulean blue. Add a tiny bit of green just so it's not totally different. And I'm going to just put in some colors here. So I'm just painting it with water. I'll continue in a minute.